Maelstrom Wanderer versus Emmara, Soul of the Accord. Quite like that hand because we can go Mystical Tutor on turn 1 and grab ourselves a 3 visits or a Nature's Law. That'll set us up for Spoils of Victory next turn, so yeah, we'll go for that. Emmara, Soul of the Accord, reads, whenever she becomes a tap... Emmara, Soul of the Accord reads, whenever she becomes tapped, create a 1/1 soldier token with lifelink. She is Celestia, and she's a 2/2 elf cleric. Grab ourselves a ramp spell with Nature's Law. Not with Nature's Law, with Mystical Tutor. And speaking of Nature's Law, yeah, it's under N where you might expect it to be. Grab our Hinterland Harbour and go for Nature's Law. And now if we don't draw into a land next turn, it doesn't matter because we'll have enough for Spoils of Victory. The Maelstrom Wanderer is a Teamer commander. A 7/5, gives all our creatures haste and it cascades twice when it is cast. Karametra's Favour is an aura, and that has Enchanted Emmara. Enchanted creature has tap, add any mana to your mana pool and enters the battlefield. Oh, and you draw a card so it cantrips off itself. That's a really good aura then. Yeah, pays for itself when it enters. Yeah, tempted to get down Lotus Cobra, but I think we just go for Spoils of Victory here. Don't want our opponent to run us over with tokens. And last turn our opponent also got down a Quest for Renewal. That is when a creature you control becomes tapped, you can put a quest counter on it. And if there's 4 or more counters on it, untap all creatures you control during each other player's untap step. And when they've got a tap effect like this on, that means that they can tap Emmara down twice as many times as they would be able to. Which means that's even more soldiers to deal with. Alright, we get a land drop down. I'd like to go for Acidic Slime here, I think. And we'll get that aura away from Emmara and hope that they don't have another means of tapping Emmara down. Which means that the only way they'll be able to tap her down is by swinging in. And I doubt they're going to swing into a 2/2 Death Toucher. Thinking I might go for Rite of Replication on the Acidic Slime next turn to get rid of the Quest for Renewal as well. They are offering up a trade of some form here. I'm not sure I want to take them up on it. I don't know if they have any tricks up their sleeve. So I'm just going to take the damage here. They've got 6 cards in hand and only 3 mana available to them. Harvest Season, well that's good. That gets them 3 basics. That's the one I'm thinking of, isn't it? Search your library for X basic lands, where X is the number of tapped creatures you control. Yeah, and they've obviously got 3 creatures tapped. So that was what they were after. Never see anyone running Harvest Season. They didn't go for much green there, which might tell us something. Yeah, let's go for Rite of Replication. And we'll kill the Quest for Renewal. And that gives us a couple of good blockers to hopefully slow our opponent down. I will start blocking now. If they offer up Seeker of Skybreak again, I'll block with one of them. And if they want to buff it in order to, or give it indestructible or something, I don't know. Looks like they are cracking. Nope, they're just going for Mirari's Wake. So they have boatloads of mana now. Oh, and Whatley. Yeah, in my Emmara Soul of the Accord deck, I never got to run her, and I was actually quite looking forward to using her. Might have to whip out the Emmara deck again at some point. Alright, I think I am going to kill the Emmara. And I don't mind killing that either. Prophet of Crufix. I think we have to go for Prophet of Crufix and attempt to catch up. We're not getting into any of our ramp spells. So let's go for that. We can get down Lotus Cobra. And then maybe try out a Scroll Rack next turn. Or we could go for Ethereum Horn Sorcerer for a Cascade effect if we get into lands next turn. Out comes Emmara again. No means of tapping her though. Oh, Archangel of Thune. That is a lot of +1/+1 counters that are going to go onto all these creatures. And Jazal Goldmane, they're going all out on us. Just vomiting their hand onto the board, and I think that's actually going to benefit them this game because we've been a little bit too slow for my liking. There we go, they swing in with everything. No, I'm not going to block with the Lotus Cobra because it's going to be too valuable to us. We'll just block one of those things. And then it'll be 3 +1/+1 counters on everything because lifelink will be 3 different triggers. So Archangel of Thune triggers 3 times and makes everything huge. That's a forest. I'm going to go for Scroll Rack here and see if we can grab anything that might actually help us. No, just Mana Vault. So let's go Kadama's Reach and Mana Vault. Now we know what we're cascading into, and I wonder if we can bounce the Archangel of Thune. Yeah, we might be able to do something, because we're going to be able to get down Maelstrom Wanderer this turn. March of the Multitudes, that is X 1/1 white soldier tokens with lifelink. And whenever a creature enters the battlefield under your control, you may draw a card thanks to Huatli's emblem. It's exactly the reason that I wanted to run her, because you can quite easily get the emblem up against a token, or if she's in a token deck. So straight back up to 8 cards in hand. And then Springleaf Drum, tap an untapped creature you control to add a mana of any colour. That can tap down Emmara. But they opt to tap down one of their summoning 6 soldiers. Oh, Beastmaster Ascension. I was just going to say, I'm surprised they're not just buffing up with Jazal Goldmane. That's probably what they should do, because there's not really any sense in just throwing all their cards out, because they don't know what we have. They're also doing all this pre-combat, and for all they know, we could have a Cyclonic Rift in hand. So I think they're playing with their food a little bit here. And then let's see what swings in. Do we want to use Maelstrom Wanderer as a rattlesnake effect? No, I think I want to block with it. So we'll let our opponent swing in here. And they'll get 5 counters on the Beastmaster Ascension. This needs 7, I think. Yeah, 7 quest counters. And then creatures get +5/+5. And it gets the counters by creatures attacking. Now let's get ourselves a Maelstrom Wanderer. See if we can even attempt to do anything about all of this. We know what we're cascading into. Ah, no we don't. I forgot all about that. Kadama's Reach shuffled our library, didn't it? Yeah, so we're just going to have to attempt to hit lucky here. We at least get a free cascade from Bloodbraid Elf. Miri's Guile won't do anything. I was thinking we still have the artifact on top that can bounce the Archangel of Thune away. But that is just clutching at straws anyway. Bribery. Let's see what bribery can grab us. Elesh Norn, I think we have to go for here because that gets rid of a lot of our opponent's tokens. And it means we might be able to block a little bit better as well. We can block Jazal. Block there. And there. And there. Yeah. And the only thing that dies, yeah, all our opponent's stuff dies, and they get an Archangel of Thune trigger, which will turn the Archangel of Thune into an 8/9 flyer. So they don't quite have us next turn, but we need to try and get something down. Well, Miri's Guile might help us. There's the Crystal Shard again. That is really lucky. So let's go 2 lands and we'll draw into that Crystal Shard. Then we can pay to untap the Mana Vault because we know what we're drawing into. And we can, yeah, we'll get some mana from the Lotus Cobra. And we'll go in for our Crystal Shard. And let's swing in at our opponent, see if they've got anything for us. We just have to go in at our opponent's face at this point because Huatli's, I don't know if she's going to make much difference. They can get another emblem off with her maybe, but I just want to pile in damage on my opponent at this point. And we'll wait and see if our opponent tries to... Oh, Sublime Archangel makes a difference. I've thought about Crystal Shards wrong. For some reason, I always think that this is just an unsummon on a stick, but it isn't. They can pay to stop it from happening. And I don't know if our opponent was tapped out there. So they might have been able to pay for the Crystal Shard anyway, but I think we just have to attempt a Maelstrom Wanderer again. We won't do that. We need to try and get a flyer or some kind of action into play that will keep our opponent from getting lethal on us with Archangel of Thune. Yeah, I can't remember now, but I hope our opponent wasn't tapped out last turn because that's a big mistake, me not bouncing the Archangel of Thune if they were. Lightning Greaves. Yeah, I think that forces us to go for Maelstrom Wanderer now. And fingers crossed for a flyer. Solemn Simulacrum will do nothing. Oh, Consecrated Sphinx. Excellent. Now we just need to keep our fingers crossed again. We need to hope that we don't have our opponent get into some kind of targeted removal. They equip up their Archangel of Thune, which means they can't equip the Sword of the Perunes. As long as the equipped creature is tapped, it gets +2 to its attack. And as long as the equipped creature is untapped, it gets +2 to its toughness. 3 generic mana to equip, 3 generic mana to tap or untap it. Reconnaissance is really good in an Emmara deck, but I don't think they're going to be making use of it until Emmara is back in play. Down comes Emmara. And we'll draw 2 cards, thanks to the Huatli. Okay, Oracle of Muldiah and a land are good to clear off the top. And I'm happy for them to play more creatures. We draw a couple more cards here. Clearing more lands off the top is fine with me. But unfortunately they're going to get rid of our Consecrated Sphinx. We'll just have to use our scroll rack and dump these cards that we got off the Sphinx on top and see if we can get any kind of... Oh, that's strange. It's shown us the cards. Oh, well, anyway, we'll go like that. And Inferno Titan does nothing for us, unfortunately, so it looks like our opponent's got it. Yeah, I really hope that... Throne of the God Pharaoh as well, okay. Yeah, I really hope that they weren't tapped out and that we could have actually crystal sharded the Archangel of Thune away. I, for some reason, got it stuck in my head that this is an unsummon. This is the only deck that I use this card in, and I don't use it all that often. But our opponent managed to get it off on us. They gain exalted multiple times, and there's nothing we can do about this. So we'll give them the satisfaction of smacking us in the face for 11 damage. And there we go. Good game to our opponent. Now I'm off to go and review the footage because I'm very keen to see if I could have sharded away that Archangel of Thune, because we could have pulled it back there, I think, had I have done that. But if they had the mana to pay for it, then wouldn't have made any difference whatsoever. Anyway, hope you all enjoyed that. That was the Maelstrom Wanderer versus Emmara, Soul of the Accord. I'm tribalkai on the EDH channel. Thank you for watching.